Hey guys, I'm Chris,
And I'm Mike.
and welcome back to this week's No Limits, the Thriller Podcast. What's new this week, Mike?
Not much, just a happy new year to you and the family. New house, new year, same old podcast.
Yeah, this is my first pod in my new house. 60% set up in my office. I have a desk, and I have my computer, and I can plug in my computer. And I can plug in the mic. That's the most important part.
And your sound is pretty good. So maybe you'll get better audio here. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. It's a little bit more enclosed room than before. So,
All right. Well, I shouldn't say same old podcast because we've got some new things going on. What did you think about my updates to our website? I want to make it a little easier for new folks to navigate.
dude, it's very nice. I said this on our group me chat, but you're like 85% of the pod. You do 85% of the work. I come in off the top rope, swinging with my takes. And
no, the work, yes. The work, sure. The hours, yes. But not at all the spirit, the soul of this podcast. That's 100 and 100, you and me.
No, the website looks amazing, and I hope people can enjoy it. It's real easy, real easy to access, and I think we'll get everything up there. Right now we have our Jack series, which I'm loving that we have almost a full. Well, next month we'll have finished up to date with Jack Carr. We'll have all of the Mid-Trap stuff, pretty much all of the Chris Howdy stuff up to date, right?
Yeah, the new book in May we'll be covering then. So, yeah, Andrews and Wilson we're keeping up with the Shepherd series, the Sons of Valor stuff. Yeah. And Brad Thor, of course. You got to mention Brad Thor. We got, 6, 7 books in already on that? That's a third almost. Yeah, that is a third, actually. 22 books coming out this year.
We're already a third. When did we start, Scott? Was it last January?
Well, with 6 books, we tried to keep it to one a month. We missed a few months because of new releases and whatnot, and like the Mid-Trap book, Oath of Loyalty. So it had to be early 22 would be my guess.
Yeah, I guess it was like April, maybe.
Yeah. No, but the website, my whole intention was to make it easier for, I guess, both new and returning listeners to go find our episodes book by book. And so we have a page for each author that we've covered, and it's clearly laid out with every episode linking to the books and the covers of the books. So you could see our graphics when we do judge a cover by the book. Our graphics are right there with all the covers. It's in order of each series, so you can link part 1 and part 2 episodes right there to whatever book you want to listen to in the moment. So hopefully it makes it easier. Because we wanted to be like a library of content as you read a novel. You don't have to read the series in order every time, but if you pick up one, you can go find our episodes on it. So hopefully that makes it a little bit easier for you to do that.
Yeah, we got to find a way to get our scorecards up there. Maybe go back and redo some scorecards for some other series.
I was looking at that. We don't have scorecards for everything. Even the first few Brad Thors we didn't do it for. Right, and I'm wondering, I want to make a little page about the scorecard explaining it. I'm thinking maybe it works best as a spreadsheet, just kind of a spreadsheet where you could see all our marks and compare them.
But also, like, just posting that up there, taking it out of context, some people could get angry. If you don't listen to the pod, you just find this online and you see that what we rated something, you got to listen to us. Like, you could, after you listen to us and you still disagree, that's fine. But, like, you can't just, see the Rotten Tomato score without reading some of the reviews, or reading, like, why people are actually angry about it, and then understand, but that can be taken both ways. Exactly. Like, half the time were we talking about something where I'll look and I'm like, why is this item so badly rated? Because I actually enjoy it. And I look and it's not, people aren't rating the actual item. It's like they're rating Amazon. It's like,
yes,
item arrived late.
Yeah. The box was opened or damaged.
1 star. Like, all right, that's not on the company. That's not on like the item or whoever's selling the item. It's whoever shipped you the item. So,
dude, that happened this morning. We went to this biscuit place that just opened by me, District Biscuits.
Biscuit
and I'm like,
place. Biscuits.
I'm like, oh, this is gonna be mint. And this dude had operated at like 5 or 6 different farmers markets, was just selling biscuits at home, decided to open a brick and mortar place. So pretty big deal. I'm like, crap, some of the reviews were blasting him. There were a couple of 1-star reviews. I'm like, what is going on? Everyone was complaining that their Uber Eats driver was late. I'm like, that's not the platform. Like, you rate that on Uber. You don't rate the restaurant.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, so I guess just circle back. Things can be taken out of context. So again, we encourage people to go on our website, dive in, pick a random mid-trap pod, listen to part 1, listen to part 2. That's the more exciting one anyway, half the time. So, yeah, really proud of this website now.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, man. One thing on reviews, I don't want to take forever on this, but it's very hard to get people to rate your podcast on Apple Podcasts in the app. 5 stars does go a long way. And as Jack Carr has said, it helps us beat the big tech, big media algorithms by finding podcasts such as this one. But I saw we only have 2 official reviews in the platform for Thriller Pod. And thank you so much for those of you who took the time. But one of them gave us 4 stars for no other reason than we haven't covered a book he wants us to cover. So anyway, he literally said in the review, I will change this to 5 stars if they cover this book, but refused to give us 5 stars. I was like, all right, well, thank you anyway. Thanks for listening.
Well, that's one way to get us to cover a book, I guess. Now I want to cover this book. I'm intrigued. What is the book?
I don't know about that. And actually, I mean, they're pretty good series. I think he mentioned the Joel Rosenberg series of Marcus Riker. Somebody else might have also mentioned Brad Taylor, which I know Mark and others, that's a big one they want to hear. And
they want to hear Brad Taylor.
We'd love to get there soon. But yeah, please be patient with us because we are coming up with our 2023 reading list, and it's already jam-packed.
Yeah, so January we have The Last Patriot and The Devil's Hand. In February, we're doing The Apostle and Sleeping Bear. In March, we're doing Foreign Influence and Wolf Trap. I'm guessing Wolf Trap and Sleeping Bear are the right. 2 Connor Sullivan, right?
Yeah, that's Connor Sullivan's second coming out in March. Yep.
And then in April, you get a double dose of Scott Harvath, The Athena Project and Full Black. I see people are down on The Athena Project. I actually really enjoyed that book. I'm excited to revisit Scott? It.
I don't remember.
He makes a cameo in it for
makes
3 chapters. Yeah.
Okay.
He comes in on like a boat. This is what I remember. A boat or submarine, helps her out, like the main chick, and then leaves. And then in May, we get, the book we're talking about today, Only the Dead, and another of our favorites, The Devil You Know, with Chris Howdy. So that's a stacked reading list, Mike.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I thought Connor Sullivan would be doing something a little different, getting a debut author out there with his second. We've talked a lot about this 1-2 punch for new authors, and I think nobody nailed it like Chris Howdy or Jack Carr. So really hoping in Connor Sullivan we can have another 1-2 punch with Wolf Trap when it comes out. That's why I wanted to squeeze that one into the list here, because Sleeping Bear was really, really good.
All right. I'm excited.
All right, but today, that's a lot of banter, a lot of business, a lot of background. We are jumping into Only the Dead with a preview episode, considering just last week, and it was funny, we were talking to Tyler Boer, and we were both jazzed up about the Only the Dead cover reveal. We're like, it's got to be soon. They're hinting that it's soon. This teaser trailer had dropped, and so we were just pumped. We needed to see this cover. And then he texted me, I think it was the day after we finished recording. He's like, dude, what do you think of this? And he and I were going back and forth. So today we'll jump into the plot, the teaser trailer, and the cover of Only the Dead, a preview for Jack's next book in the James Reese series, coming out in May, I want to say. I think that's a May release.
May 2023.
Yep. All right, let me ask you, what did you think of that teaser trailer?
Yeah, no, I was saying this before we started recording, but most of these book trailers, I don't really know who they're for, like why people need a book trailer. I understand like what Jack is going with in terms of hype. He's an influencer, has very present on social media.
It's marketing.
But yeah, exactly. But you can go back and look at like all the mid-trap stuff, and there's these crappy book trailers on YouTube. Like really crappy. I don't know who they get to read. They don't get George to read them. And, but this one, on the other hand, was fucking badass. Like, really cool. Tells us about, literally gives us pretty much the blurb, right? That's, we've also gotten. Sets up the story great. You get like a lot of these shots of, people, because there's this cabal of global elites. I want to get into the plot because I feel like I'm a little bit burdened down by this plot line. So
really,
we'll see how, because I don't know, everyone's doing it, man. Everyone's doing this.
The conspiracy stuff. I kind of like this idea of conspirators. It almost seems a little more Vince Flynn to me.
Yeah, maybe it's because we just did
Yeah.
we just did a couple of them, and I think we're gonna get into Brad's version of this soon. So it's like it's coming full. Like, I feel like everyone has to like touch on this plot line if they're gonna do a political thriller, or this type of genre, put their character in the mix. But what I am intrigued about is seeing James Reese, like how he comes into play in this. And I wanted to ask you, is the world's most dangerous man locked in solitary confinement? That's James, right?
Dude, of course. And major spoilers, right, throughout this episode, because In the Blood left us a huge cliffhanger. I might say one of the bigger cliffhangers in the series. So spoilers for the ending of In the Blood, if you haven't read that one yet. Yeah, dude, when James gets taken, when he gives the key to Katie, and then they come in and
oh, right.
Remember, I'm the FBI and everybody swarms his house and
I'm blanking on like the In the Blood because we just did Savage. We did True Believers and Savage Son. Oh, that's right. That's right.
The solitary confinement. That was almost massive to me because that's what happens. He does indeed get taken. He doesn't fight them off, and they put him in solitary confinement. Like that right there is a huge jump from what we knew at the end of In the Blood. That line in itself, dropped in a trailer like this, or even in the extended blurb, like the dust jacket cover. Dude, that's huge. That like, what is he going to do? Does he get out of it? Is it a political answer that gets him out of it? Or is it people and friends from the past springing him? Because that would be nasty. Can you imagine if Rafe, or even, you remember Marco from The Terminalist, that Mexican billionaire? Right. What does Liz do? Like, can you imagine if they spring him out of solitary confinement? That'd be insane.
I think it's going to be like a politician, like someone who's on his side.
Yeah.
Figures out a way to get him out. Or they need him to...
They need him, yeah.
They need him, I don't know.
Dude,
no, I'm excited, but I'm also like, I guess I'm more skeptical of like, let's see what Jack can do.
Let's see what he can do.
Let's see if he can take this common thread, this common backstory, and I want to see his take on it. I'm excited for that.
Right. So if you're a little on the fence, let me just read the description you get in this teaser trailer video, which is all over social media and Jack's website right now. And then we'll give the fuller blurb where they talk a little bit more about this cabal of global conspirators. But just listen to how awesome this is. The world is on the brink of war. A weakened United States facing rampant inflation and political division, and shocking assassinations. A secret cabal of global elites ready to assume control. With the world's most dangerous man locked in solitary confinement, the conspirators believe their final obstacle to complete domination has been eliminated. They're wrong. Spring 2023. James Reese is back. Dude, it's like a Marvel movie right there. James Reese will return. I like that gets me so hyped. And I didn't even realize the shocking assassinations. I forgot the reason they're locking him up is somebody framed him in the president's assassination.
Right.
Massive things have happened, but at the very end of In the Blood, and I'm glad to hear we're jumping right into the aftermath of that.
Right. And so can we go right into the extended blurb?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's keep going.
So in 1980, a freshman congressman was gunned down in Rhode Island, sending shockwaves through Washington that are still reverberating over 4 decades later. So is this the shocking assassinations, or is the president's assassination from the last book the shocking assassination, or multiple, or we have going to see other assassinations?
Yeah, I don't know. And how does this thing from 1980 tie in? Was it something with Reese's father?
Right. Yeah. So from the firms of Wall Street to the corridors of power in Washington, D.C. and Moscow, secrets from the past have an uncanny ability to rise to the surface in the present. With the odds stacked against him, James Reese is on a mission, generations in the making. Hopefully we're going to get a culmination of all this key stuff, his father, his watch. Like I'm really hoping that if we don't get a full explanation on everything, I'm going to be disappointed.
Dude, right there, a mission, generations in the making, means something
to be
with the
related to his
key,
father.
something with Thomas Reese, and then combine that with In the Blood having these
The Russian
flashbacks
connection.
or these voices, right, that James is hearing.
Right.
I think it's brilliant and really smart to lean into that. So I think you're right. I think we're going to actually see Thomas written on the page much more than just a memory that's being recanted by Reese. We're actually going to see and be in the past.
Right. Unfortunately for his enemies, the former SEAL is not concerned with the odds. Don't tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds.
He is on a warpath, and when James Reese picks up a tomahawk and a sniper rifle, no one is out of range. That's a badass line right there.
Dude.
No one is out of range.
Don't tell me the odds. If they're not doing fan service right there with those last few sentences, that's fan candy right there. I don't know how else to put it.
I think he said it in the last book. Or like, I'm pretty sure. I meant to bring it up at the pod, but I forgot. But he said it to someone, whether he said it to Rafe or whoever was helping him when Rafe was kidnapped or like by himself, was like, I never want to know the odds. And it wasn't like the exact same line that Harrison Ford says, but
yeah, absolutely. It might have come up more than once.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited for this book, man.
Dude, it's going to be so good. And everything we're saying is coming off of In the Blood. We talked about some of the connections there, but none of this hints at Alice. And so I'm wondering.
Yeah, I don't think we see Alice again.
You don't think Alice comes back?
No, I don't think so. I mean, if she does, it's going to be like a one-pager where you could kind of tell that he liked the idea of Alice, but by the end of the book, and he even said it in his interview, she's just so powerful. It's too much to use as a, she's too omnipotent to use to be interesting in a book.
I get that.
It's what being OP, overpowered,
Sure.
like Thanos. They had to rewrite Thanos through the course of the MCU from how strong he was in the very beginning to the very end, because they needed to show him having a little bit of weakness so that way he could rise up, get the stones, and be even more powerful. So if you have a character like that who just can't be stopped, or this is especially prescient because did you see the one where recently this news article where they had to shut off an AI because the AI was starting to think for itself and do things and
Really?
Actually, because so they're coming out with all these languages, right? The GPT-3, the DALL-E, which DALL-E, I don't know if you guys know this, but GPT-3 is the bot where you tell it to write me a mid-trap novel in the style of, Tom Clancy. And so it has everything. So it'll go and read all the mid-trap novels.
I heard about
read
that
all the
one,
Tom
yeah.
Clancy novels. And then, you depending on what the parameters you give it or how good your prompt is, it'll then kick out a really good thing. Someone even had it write the next Game of Thrones book. And it was amazing.
Jeez. No, I think I saw that in a headline that was like, are essays a thing of the past? Like, how can you ever trust assigning students an essay in college or something, or a paper to write with this bot?
Yeah, because the way the bot does it is it gives you every piece of text it gives you is original. So it's not
it's not plagiarizing.
You can't, those plagiarism tools, I'm sure as a teacher.
Yeah.
If you were to take this article that you put in and then try to search it, you won't find it anywhere. Now, right now, it's still a little bit, even if you tell it to write like someone.
Right. It's not, the tech's not ready yet, but the idea.
But I think it'll get there. And especially, you could say, all right, I want you to read, you can input your articles. And if you're a journalist, you can say, all right, this is how I write. Write something on the Ukraine war, in my writing. And it learns, So the more,
that's crazy. It's learning the things that we thought were the intangibles of that craft, like tone and theme and sentence structure and cadence. But now it's got an algorithm to master even those things.
So there's this other interesting podcast who he goes into this quite a bit. It's called Plain English. Derek Thompson is a guy, and he said, "But what about if I take that and then I use it as my base, almost like my outline, and then is that plagiarism?
Right? Because if you edit it down, it's your You revise it. It's your work.
Right.
It's
Exactly.
it's assisted by this bot. Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
But dude,
It's very, very tricky. So bring it back to Alice.
no, yeah, like I get the argument, but no, that conversation is important to me because I would love to see that level of thoughtfulness and analysis dealt with in a novel, in a thriller novel. So,
Wait, what if Alice gets him out of solitary confinement?
dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't put Alice back in a box, right? And I agree that last novel, Jack asked a bunch of questions around Alice and posed a lot of thoughtful things and didn't end up going further in it. And he mentioned,
Right.
didn't want to be too sci-fi, and some people already thought he was too going down that path too much. I disagree. Once you put Alice in the universe, you don't close that box. I think when he posed questions like, remember when it spied on Katie? And James,
Right.
remember, it was like, here is a video of Katie right now meeting with her friend in her living room or something. And Reese is like, stop it, shut it off. Don't want to know that. Kill it. So the ethics, I think he's willing to ask the questions. I would love to see this book further that discussion around the ethics of it all. And then you kind of reframe the ethics if indeed Alice can get him out of that, or if indeed she can be the link that takes down the global conspirators. So I would love to see that leaned into. I do agree with you. All the signaling I'm getting is that we're not going to go that route, but I do want to say I would be okay with it.
Yeah.
So actually, to connect back to In the Blood, I listened to our In the Blood episodes, and in fact, I thought my limerick was kind of a nice way to connect it, because I mentioned a few things in my limerick that I think still need to be addressed in this book. So while I don't have a limerick for Only the Dead yet, obviously, listen to this from In the Blood. It will kind of get us back in the mindset of where we ended that book and what might still be coming. There once was an AI named Alice. Will she be friend or foe without malice? Helping Reese out. Is that what she's about? As they hunt Nizar Khatan, who's so callous. In Aliyah, Reese had a good friend. Blown from the sky to a sad end. Hunting her killer makes a great thriller, but alas, it is he they'll apprehend. So they take Reese. We've got Alice. We don't know if she's friend or foe, or has the potential to be friend or foe long term. And then also we've got that lady, the Israeli Mossad agent who was blown from the sky. And Tyler mentioned he didn't like a cold open that had nothing to do with Reese, but he was okay with it when we got the backstory of their friendship and relationship. Do you feel the Congressman in the 1980s is going to be something similar? We open with a scene that might seem tangential or just totally unrelated in some way, but we really learn how integral whatever happened with this congressman in 1980 really impacts the mission Reese is on today. Would you like that? The same way he did it with Aliyah last book?
Yeah, that's fine with me. I mean, I feel like Vince did this a lot, where the first chapter doesn't have Mitrap, but you're always going to see him.
Chapter 2 or 3.
Chapter 2 or 3, or if it's not in the prologue, then chapter 1. So, he's learning. Jack is learning. This is will it be his 6th novel, right? So, can't wait, man. Couple months.
Well, what if we wrap up here with something we love to do?
Man. The cover.
Judge a cover by the book. We don't have the book, so I think today, Chris, we just have to judge the cover. What was your reaction to seeing this?
I think it's pretty sick. Honestly, all you need to do is get rid of the face.
Hey, it's only like 5/8 of a face, so I'm kind of okay with it.
It's all right, but so we're gonna be on boats,
dude. The yacht,
we're gonna be this giant yacht on this rough sea with the tomahawk and what are those structures behind him? Like these mountains? Is it a mountain ridge? That almost looks like in Arizona.
I was trying to figure out exactly. It looks like, when Lake Mead, you saw all those pictures that went down in Nevada, or even in Utah, like around Arches, there's a bunch of, I don't know. Yeah. That dry sandstone, but that could also be like Middle Eastern, no? Somewhere along the Red Sea or one of the desert regions. Yeah. I don't know. That boat is nasty.
But I think he's gonna stay in America. I think it's gonna be very America focused.
I think so too. Yeah. It says the Wall Street, the cabal, the corridors of power in Washington, the firms of Wall Street. Moscow was mentioned too, so there's a Russia connection.
He hasn't really done one since Terminalist that was mainly focused in the United States. So,
yeah, dude, that boat is pretty sweet. And the Winkler front and center.
front and center, baby. That's sick.
Dude, I think it's a great cover. I'm getting Jaws vibes. My first reaction I texted Ty was,
Jaws.
we're going to need a bigger cover. I don't know why. This title
funny.
screams Jaws to me.
Only the dead. Only the dead what? Talk? Only the dead. Or only the dead can't talk? Only the dead...
Only the dead leave keys in gun cases inside of a Land Cruiser, inside of a storage unit.
A Wagoneer. Grand Wagoneer, right?
Inside the Wagoneer, inside the storage unit, which you had to have another special key for.
Yeah. No, it's a cool cover, man. I'd probably give it like a 4.5.
Yeah, we don't know the story, so if the boat, and obviously the Winkler...
If that has nothing to do with the story, then it's going to go down.
It's going to go down
because that's not okay. But the story, none of the covers. I mean, you have all of them here. All the covers have had something to do. I mean, most of them are just like a dude near a place.
Well, so what I like about the boat and these rocky, sandy mountains in the back is if that's a really key scene, I'd love it. Yeah, the same way True Believer missed out on having the sailboat or the African jungle on the cover. So you would kind of be righting that wrong for me if that with the yacht is a key scene. That would really work for me.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And less face. I would say less face and body than the other. Well, maybe a little more face. There are eyes there, but a little less body than the other covers. So that makes up for it.
Yeah, I guess I'm okay with the face without the body.
I think it works here for some reason. Maybe it's the orange. I like how the orange around the face echoes the handle of the Winkler at the bottom. So something about the composition, I'm okay with that.
I'm calling the guy Jack, but like this is James. So James's like shoulders almost also look like a mountain. You know?
Yeah, right. Yes, like an even taller one than the ones in the foreground.
Yes.
Yeah, the composition, I think, is fantastic here. I might, at this point, and not knowing the story, I might say it's my favorite Jack Carr cover so far. Again, I can't conclude that till I know the story, but composition-wise, it definitely is for me.
In the Blood cover is pretty cool, because that's like
the sniper.
A key scene. It's a key scene. You know?
Right. Yeah, I'll give you that. Savage Sun was cool, too.
Yeah.
Again, they're all good. I haven't really called any of them great. I think this one is borderline great.
Yeah, I would agree. It's probably the best one so far.
And very curious what the B line will look like. You know, the A line, the main cover of the hardcover is always the guy standing with some sort of dramatic background of a landscape or a cityscape. The B line has those like panels. It's almost torn up. And we've really liked those. And the Savage Sun one of walking through the forest of Siberia was pretty cool. Yeah, so I really want to see this one in the B-line style.
Can't wait, man. Only a couple months.
Dude, good stuff. Good stuff. Let us know what you think of Only the Dead. Hit us up on social media. We'd love to get your takes on the cover, the teaser trailer, the blurb. Oh, dude, the engagement. Where's he going to pick up with the engagement?
I know.
Oh, wow. Big stuff. Big stuff.
We shall see. You have to wait. You got to wait. All right. Next time when we see you on the spot, which will be pretty shortly because we're going to record it right after this one, we're going to bring to you a little side quest. And it's related to Jack Carr and the last book we did, The Savage Sun. We're going to be talking about a short story that came out recent. No, not recent. When did it come out? In
the 20s. So 100-year anniversary at some point, yeah.
Yeah. The Most Dangerous Game. So we really liked, I really liked how, I shouldn't speak for Mike, but how Jack talked about this in the prologue or author's notes at the beginning. And you could really see the inspiration for it. So Mike had read it, forced me to go back and read it. And it'll be a quick 15, 20-minute pod, just talking about Most Dangerous Game. So yeah, look out for that. And then we'll be posting our January or our 2023 reading list through May. So be sure to dive into those books for our upcoming pods in January and February. And as always, we need to thank our patrons, our special operator, Sherry, our special agents Daryl, Kevin, George, Matt, Dawn, Dennis, Peggy, Catherine, Ray, Bridget, Jeff, and Mark. Please subscribe, rate, and review using your favorite podcasting platform. You can find us at thrillerpod.com. Go check out that beautiful new website. Or on Twitter and Instagram at thrillerpodcast. And as always, I like this one. We'll keep it to the lads, mate.
To the lads.
To the lads.